Okay,
Yeah.
recording.
Hi, it's me, the Sunday Movie Marathon.
What?
No, here's my real intro. I just wanna be pure. Welcome to the Sunday Movie Marathon. I'm Frank.
I'm Mantis.
I'm Toboggan.
This is episode 129. Woo! We made it. How are we all today?
I really liked your intro there because I'm very deep in the It's Always Sunny goo now.
Well,
at the
I did it for
moment.
you, man. I did it for you.
Yeah, we're like non-stop at the moment. Just
Yeah, we're
constantly
watching
at it.
through it all again. I've blasted through the whole podcast in the last couple of weeks, so I've got 2 episodes left until I'm up to date now.
That's mad. Wasn't it just yesterday or something? You said you had 6 to go. That's madness.
Are you watching the episodes along with the podcast episodes?
No.
Me neither. But
No.
that's only because I don't have Netflix.
I watched all the we're watching through the show at the moment, and when I started, I was doing that, but I was just I want to watch more episodes. So
Yeah, no point. I just that's my go-to at the moment. I always got a podcast running in the background if I'm cycling somewhere, if I'm walking somewhere, and just white noise to drown out the realities of the world.
yeah, I'll just
that's
listen
my
to an
one.
episode on my way to work or on my lunch break or something. So
Yeah, real pleasure. I can't cope with not having something playing. I'm one of those freaks.
Silence.
Just can't be
Yeah,
with my own
same.
thoughts.
Mm.
Can't do it. I think we're declining as a species because of this. Honestly, it's doing me harm. I think I'm only now becoming aware of it. Or I'm like, where's my phone? Where's my fucking phone? I need to have. Where's my headphones or something?
Oh,
Where
what?
Something's
When it's silent.
yeah,
I guess
horrible.
because I think it depends on the situation.
It's horrible. I got to wean myself off this shit. I'm not even on TikTok.
yeah, start meditating.
I might have to. Yeah.
Meditating, it kind of
Mhm.
forces you to be
Yeah.
with your thoughts, but it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, I'd love to get to a point where I'm doing it once a day instead of
I was
once
for
every
a
couple
long
months.
time. Yeah, but
I
then
don't
you
have the
get too
time for
busy
that.
for it. Yeah, you
Yeah.
get too busy. I know
I
it's
can't
only
set
2
aside
minutes.
2
but
minutes to meditate. I can't do that.
normally you're supposed to do it either at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day, right?
Yeah,
I'm
But
too tired.
but yeah, you're either too tired or you're rushing to work because you chose sleep. Right? Let's be honest, guys. We've all done that before.
Yeah, I don't want
Yeah.
to put aside time to do.
yeah. I
Just sit
started
there
getting
and-
up half an hour early every day because I was right, I'm going to start meditating, and instead I'm just watching Cheers and shit in the morning instead.
He actually
You're
does.
You're half an hour. That's exactly the exact time of an episode of Cheers. Could do that instead of meditating.
Yeah.
What I love about that as well is that that's a big gap, that half an hour. It only takes 2 minutes to do a meditation as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I think I went through a spell of meditation back in the day. I don't remember what it was like.
I did it a lot during lockdown when I was working full time.
Just honestly, to be in the quiet would be nice. Actually, I might have to just do it. Otherwise,
Sometimes it's
I think
alright.
I'm going to lose my mind.
Sometimes
Yeah.
I am only who I am because of the podcasts I listen to.
You wouldn't
My
function
personality of
without
the
them.
week is dictated to whose podcast I've got on the most. It's horrible, horrible stuff. I can't take it. Anyway, speaking of podcasts to meld with the Sunday Movie Marathon,
Mhm.
we are talking about 3 movies. If nobody else has got anything else to say,
No,
about the wonders
sorry.
and joys of meditation that we're definitely going to do, and not just because we said it on the podcast. 3 movies. These are rip-off movies. The conceit, I suppose, is these are all movies based on other movies done at a significantly lower budget to ape the success of successful movies. So we
Yeah.
got Mac and Me, which I suppose was a rip-off of E.T.
Yeah, that was
We've
very
got-
obviously done.
The Man Who Saved the World, or Turkish Star Wars, which obviously is a rip-off of Star Wars, and Joshua and the Promised Land, which is maybe not immediately clear, but that is a rip-off of The Prince of Egypt,
Mhm.
I believe. So, yeah.
That one's a bit. I think that one's a bit of a grey area though, because it's
I'd say
obviously
it's kind
quite
of maybe
ripped off from the
also
Bible.
ripping off Disney movies, how they have they tell these famous stories and they have animals playing them characters instead.
Yeah. So we watched these all in one go, I believe. Relatively short marathon, which we like.
Yeah, 4 hours, because
4 hours.
Darcy's movie is like 50 minutes.
Well done, honestly.
I know, I
well
was
done.
saving the world
Nice.
little by little.
Yeah, I had a good time with this marathon. I won't lie, but
You didn't
I guess-
seem like you were, but I'll be honest. Like,
sort of it was back and forth.
Yeah.
I guess.
It actually was. Yeah.
I had a
Sometimes I was
really
like
good
way
time.
up there. Woo! Yeah. Sometimes I was like, dude, let it end. Let me leave.
I was never really bored. I was always having a good time.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I sort of had some like ebb and flows, but like not to the point where I turn around and look at Max and go, "Oh, he wants to kill himself." Ooh.
And also because like we had ordered ramen beforehand, and like
Oh, what the?
they kind of fucked it up because we were trying to go to we were going to go out for dinner one day, but then like plans fell through. So we were just like, well, should we just get like ramen delivered from the
From
same
the same place, by the way.
Yeah.
The same place.
We're like, yeah, let's do that. So they brought me and Darcy some ramen, but they packaged them all weirdly, and like all the noodles and stuff were in one container, and like the broth was in another, which I don't know. Just felt a bit weird, and like they was too square.
It was like a mishmash because like
Yeah.
you were trying to fit like a meal in a rectangular box into a dense cylindrical box.
Yeah, that
that
was
was
already
filled
pre-filled
with
with
miso
ramen
soup.
with miso soup. Yeah, so that was the first annoyance, and
Yeah.
I don't think any of us had like a particularly good day. But we'll
No.
yeah.
No, to be fair, I didn't have a bad day. I was just, I think I just wasn't feeling too good. My head was hurting and stuff. But I think it's because when the heat comes back, I feel it like almost immediately.
Yeah, we're going through a spell at the moment as we record where it's just
Hot,
sweltering,
muggy. Yeah, it's just
sweltering and
gross.
muggy and humid and disgusting.
And it was
yeah.
gone for ages, and then it came back, and now my body's like, "Oh, I thought we were over this."
Yeah.
Say.
Like August is over, and then I immediately see posts on social media and like people saying the summer's over. It's time to wrap up warm and fucking get your jumpers on, get your spiced cinnamon lattes, and just have a pumpkin.
I actually just as you reminded me there, I had my first pumpkin frappe spice thing.
What?
Yeah, my mate Beth kindly bought me one from Starbucks. Mate, that thing was like £5.60 or something insane. I don't know why she
Mhm.
did it, but she was like, "You got to try it," and I was like, "Oh, what if I don't like it?" It's actually. I actually became the whitest I've ever been because it was so nice.
It is really nice.
so
Gotta try the
good.
cinnamon spice latte.
Oh, it was a frappe.
Frappe.
It was really nice.
Jesus.
Really fucking nice. It was like cinnamony. It
Yeah,
was
I
like,
liked it even when I like wasn't a coffee drinker.
yeah, it was really nice. I hate to say it because
It's the cliche.
yeah, it is,
Right.
but I have become. But yeah,
Yeah, people are so ready for it. It's autumn now. No, it's not. It's like the hottest the hottest week we've had so far.
well,
I swear to God.
since like
It's horrible.
July, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure, or June.
Exhausting.
Whenever Glastonbury was, that was the worst
Mhm.
I've felt in a long time. But yeah, this week came with a vengeance because I actually was asleep multiple times when Chris would come home from work. I just feel so shit.
Yeah, I just bought like a new duvet cover. And I'm like, oh, I've
Is
got a
it
new
a fit
duvet
quote?
cover. Well, it's like, I put it on and then like, like a month later, it's like really hot and now I can't use it. I just like have to
Has to sit until
sleep on
November.
it with like the thinnest sheet I can. Yeah, it's just sat in the corner of my room.
So sad.
It's blocking my wardrobe as we speak. I can't really open the wardrobe. But yeah, it's like a heavy one, man. And it's so nice. It's soft. I wanted to use it, but I can't now. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone for the foreseeable future. I don't know.
That's gutting.
Anyway, enough of the fucking weather. Movies. I guess we should talk about those. Do you want to introduce your one, Chris?
Okay.
What? Okay.
Yeah, so I picked Mac and Me from 1988, directed by Stuart Raphael. It's about an alien who escapes NASA agents, becomes friends with
Sorry.
a boy in a wheelchair, and together they decide to try and help Mac, the alien, find his family.
I like that Mac was an acronym the whole time. That was quite funny as well.
What?
Mac, it's
An acronym for Mac and Chris.
majestic alien creature.
Mysterious alien.
Mysterious alien creature, sorry.
Oh, what?
I prefer majestic
What, did they say
alien
that?
creature.
Yeah, they actually do.
Yeah, they say it in the film, yeah.
What? I
And I
don't
was-
remember that.
Because I thought if it was going to be like Mac and Me, I thought they were going to have like, you know, the period dots to emphasize this acronym, but they fucking
No.
don't.
Like in mac and cheese.
Mac.Roni. Oh my god,
Cheese the robot. Yeah.
this podcast is killed. I was like, what am I thinking about Friends now? Wasn't Mac
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
right.
he was
robot, yeah.
referencing.
Oh god. It's
I hate everything.
these are always going to be like bad, but I guess the excitement is in finding out if it's bad in a good way and you laugh at it a lot, or if it's bad in a kind of terrible way and you kind of get really bored.
Yeah, it's tension.
This is like a mix.
It's a mix of the
It's a
two.
mix.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
me, it's a mix. It's simultaneously one that offers absolutely nothing in terms of like substance and anything to latch onto, and get it with like stabs of like little ha-ha stabs.
Oh, I thought it was little stabs of that is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my goddamn life.
Yeah, some of it really fucking funny.
Yeah.
Some parts are so goddamn funny.
Yeah.
A lot of it for me is really
I
boring.
think there's one scene that probably had the biggest laugh out of any of these movies.
Yeah.
I know exactly
yeah,
what you're going to
probably.
say
Yeah,
as well. And to be honest, you're not wrong. That was probably like the funniest thing.
Yeah. Well, you mean the one where he's in the wheelchair and he's like cycling down the hill?
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
Yeah,
starts
because
falling.
why I found it even funnier was because I was like, oh, imagine if he
Yeah,
just
'cause
like
we projected
rolled
it.
down and like just fell off his chair, but he didn't even fall out of the chair.
No, he
It
just
fell
kept going.
with him. He
Yeah.
just kept going.
And it fully went like flying into a river.
But I liked how it was like clearly like a doll in a chair, just
Oh,
like
yeah.
spinning around. It was really fun.
But they're not going to actually put the kid in and like chuck him off this cliff.
No, I just found it really, really funny how they decided to like show it. Like
Yeah.
they could have just not. But
Top tier execution, honestly. I wouldn't have wanted anything more. It was really great. Just the fact that like he cannot detach himself from his wheelchair as he falls off the cliff. The fact that we predicted that it would happen, that he was on this sort of hill, and we say, well, he's definitely going. Wouldn't it be so funny
if he sped
if
too
he-
fast,
yeah, if he went down the hill and died?
It wasn't far off. It really wasn't
And
far
then it
off.
happened, and we were like, this is amazing. Even like, I don't know why I laughed when like I realized he was in a wheelchair. When they took him out of the car and he like his brother like lifted him up out
Yeah,
of the
you
wheelchair.
lost it. For
He was
some
like in a
reason.
wheelchair. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know because it's so like stupid. And, like I know the movie is going to be dumb as hell, but like you get out of this kid and he's in a wheelchair and it's like, oh god, antics abound. Antics abound.
Yeah.
And also that cola is the only drink in this universe to exist.
Yeah, there's like a ridiculous amount of product placement in this movie.
There's like no other drink. Nothing else exists.
Yeah, he got that. There's loads of bags of Skittles
Mhm.
like throughout.
Yeah.
But they're like,
No, I don't get a
I
Skittles
don't think
thing.
they're ever like mentioned. They're just there in this shot.
Probably had a deal.
Yeah.
Had a deal with him.
There's a lot of things in Sears. They go into
Yeah.
Sears a couple of times. And obviously McDonald's. the
Obviously,
big one.
McDonald's.
The
Obviously.
McDonald's thing was funny because I was like, oh, I'm waiting for this big tie-in.
Yeah.
And then that girl
Mac.
comes in with the uniform and I was like, oh, Mac.
McDonald.
Oh my God. Big Maco.
Yeah.
I mean, they even Big Maco LaPlan. There was
Can't believe
literally
I didn't think about that at the
Ronald
time.
McDonald in this movie.
Yeah. I
They
think
got him for
he's
it.
Didn't he-
credited as himself.
He's
He-
credited as Ronald.
Yeah.
He-
He's
did-
like Ronald McDonald as himself.
and didn't he win a
That's great.
Razzie?
What?
Yeah, for best new star or something.
Yeah.
That's new star. What do you mean?
Or
Razzie?
worst new star.
Worst new
or
star,
something
yeah.
like
Yeah,
that.
because that's what a Razzie is, isn't it? Yeah, and he's like the only fictional character to ever win one. So who actually got the award? I'm guessing the guy who.
Yeah, it wasn't a
Did
bad
Ron-
performance. Because what does he do?
Yeah.
He's just sort of there in the
I
background.
think it was just nominated as like a meme.
Oh,
So
yeah,
they were like,
definitely.
oh, he's the worst actor ever because he doesn't exist. He's not a real person. So I guess it makes sense.
Okay, that makes no sense.
No, I was just so you know what Chris is like. He goes on IMDb and he starts reading the trivia, and I was like laughing because was it in this? I think it was in this movie. I can't remember. And it was like the most stupid thing ever. It was like at the end of the film, you can see some guy driving this type of car, and I was like, who gives a fuck
Yeah.
about that, man? Like,
It
what's
was
that
like
all
Matt's
about?
dad is driving
Yeah,
this like brand of car from this year.
I was like, why? Why is that even in there? Why is that in the trivia?
He had the old Homer Simpson car at the end.
Yeah, he did.
Gave him. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I completely forgot about the aliens. They were weird, man.
They
I didn't
looked
really.
like-
I don't know if I liked them.
Yeah, wrinkly ballsack looking.
Yeah, it was so obviously made of latex.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It didn't
Like,
look
anytime
good.
there's a close up, it's so obvious. It's just like painted latex, just the material of it.
Yeah, I just keep thinking about when they tried to smuggle him into smuggle this alien into like a teddy bear, and you just see like this alien's eye like holes, just like
Mm. The eyeballs through
crudely
the
cut out
teddy
of this.
bear. Yeah,
It was.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was like I don't know, cannibalish. It was like terrifying.
it was like
It was.
like
Yeah,
the yeah. I guess so.
yeah it was like hell. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like cutting your victim's face off and then wearing it as a mask. That's what it conjured.
But what I thought was also great that when he was like, "Oh yeah, it's an old teddy. It's just got a new microchip," and the adults are like, "Yeah, that makes sense,"
Yeah,
and they just go with it as if that makes any sense.
the adults are idiots.
Apparently,
The
so.
adults are idiots in this movie. They're like
Yeah.
Mac is apparently like he's rearranging the furniture in their new house, and he's like
Yeah.
putting like trees in there, sand as well, I guess.
And
Like
shoving shit in the walls, like
Yeah, just
screws
doing
and
like
stuff.
a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Fucking
And then
hell.
like the mum comes home and she's like, What did you do? What did you do to the house? To Eric, the boy in the wheelchair. I'm like, he did not do this. There was no way he did this. Maybe the older kid, but probably not. Like, he's like 16 years old. I don't think he has the capacity. No 16-year-old is going to that much effort. It had to be an alien. It had to be an alien. Oh, they took forever to like see the alien as well. Or like half
It's
of the
quite
movie
late,
was
yeah.
like dedicated to being like, oh, he's around the, oh, he's there.
Yeah.
Is he going to be? Oh, is he going to see him? I don't know.
I also like the fact that I made a joke about people thinking that Eric was schizophrenic, and then the girl comes out and goes, "People think you're a schizophrenic."
Yeah.
And I was like, this film's predictable. Like, if I can predict this, then it's not good.
Yeah, I don't.
Not good at all.
It felt strange to me that like they that they would say that he had schizophrenia, but he was like a kid.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I mean, kids do
like-
get it, but I mean,
Yeah.
like,
but they call them imaginary friends when you're
Yeah,
a child. We all had imaginary
so
friends
where's the
with a
line
kid.
between kids having imaginary friends and then, like, yeah, like, I
Yeah.
don't
Oh, he's
understand.
mental. Yeah.
Like, makes no sense.
This is not normal. He's
That's a
seeing an
weird
alien.
world, man.
Horrible stuff, man.
I wouldn't want to see that alien. He's
Yeah, gross little thing. Gross
Yeah.
little thing.
he was always whistling. He looked like a little bumhole.
There was a lot of like random shots where he's just like sat like next to like dusk or something. Like
Yeah.
he's just sat on his own and he's like you see the sun like beaming down on him.
Yeah, they were like really trying.
Yeah.
I like
He's
the bit where he got caught in a
sad.
tree.
He's so homesick and sad for his family. Where
Yes.
are they?
Obvious they've just propped the puppet up and just left it there and they're not moving it at all.
Mm.
Yeah. It started like The Man Who Fell to Earth. I
Yeah.
thought that's what they were kind of going for.
Yeah, it was weirdly like that.
Just like it's literally set in like the same sort of area, this
Mm.
barren landscape, which I guess was like a desert. You know, they move into a house that's like next to a hill, and I just always got the feeling that like on the other side of that hill was just this landscape that they put the aliens on to signify that it was their home planet. I just felt like that was on the other side of that hill, and
That-
they did all this filming in like a 5-mile radius.
Yeah, like the great kicker would have been like, yeah, if those aliens appeared in David Bowie's like shower or something. These are the
If
aliens.
they walked onto the set of
Yeah.
The Man Who Fell to Earth. Yeah,
Same movie.
it was. It was almost beat for beat the same movie up until like like the 10-minute mark. It could have been the exact same thing.
Up until Eric got shot to death.
Oh yeah. Poor Eric. Part of me wishes that that's the ending we had got. Was we
Well,
watched
I
the?
don't know why that was only the one version of it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because what? Like, so the Japanese, I guess they were like, well,
So they got an early cut of the movie, whereas everyone else like got like the final cut.
Right.
When in the
okay,
original cut,
okay.
like he gets shot.
a lot.
Yeah,
and then
it was.
obviously Mac like brings him back to life from that.
Oh, okay, right.
But
yeah.
instead he just dies immediately from
But instead
smoke.
he's just like,
Okay.
yeah, he dies from an explosion that he's slightly near.
He's not even like that close to it.
Yeah, he doesn't get like sunburn or anything. He doesn't get like burnt in
Yeah.
any way, but he does die.
Yeah.
I guess he had a heart attack. But, like,
Yeah.
very precise and direct smoke inhalation.
Yeah, like the quickest death from that known to
Gone
man.
immediately. Yeah, I wish. Yeah, the Japanese version was funnier.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, like I actually thought it was a joke. Like, you know when It reminded me of you seen that video of Justin Bieber on NCIS when he gets shot to death?
Oh yeah.
It reminded me of that for some reason.
It was a bit, yeah.
It was like, is that a joke? Is that real? It was funny, regardless.
Yeah. But like, so they do bring him back to life. All the aliens sort of like hover their fingers above him, bring him back to life, float him up in the air.
Yeah,
and he comes back. Although I was thinking, like, and I voiced it at the time, like, if you're going to bring him back to life, if he is dead, because they say he is dead, why then, if you're going to bring him back to life, do you not also give him the use of his legs? Because he's still in a wheelchair afterwards.
Yeah, because I went to go make a pancake, I think, at this point, and I was like leaning over, like, oh.
Yeah, you hear me shout,
are they gonna do it?
What the hell?
I calm down and you just see the wheelchair. I was like, I mean, it does seem a little bit nonsensical, doesn't it, to be honest? But but then again, I guess maybe people would have complained like that. Just seems like, I don't know, maybe insensitive, I don't know. But like,
no.
You'd think realistically, if you could bring someone back from the dead,
give them
they
their
would be
legs
like,
back.
yeah, they'd be like fully new.
Yeah, they'd be fully new, like a baby.
I don't know.
That'd be a much better ending.
What if they just came back as a baby?
Yeah, just a baby again.
If he gave birth to himself as a baby, like in Men.
I've not seen Men, but that sounds crazy awful.
Don't know what you mean. Best part of that movie.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I mean,
I just did a cringe.
just aside from like, I mean, it looks awful. It the music is by Alan Silvestri.
Yeah.
For some goddamn reason, it's not like the worst music ever. Honestly, it's like because
okay.
it's still it's fine.
No.
Probably the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
It's very John Williams-esque.
It is,
they were
isn't
trying
it?
to.
Which I think he kind of nails pretty well.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of his style as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it reminded me a lot of the Back to the Future music. It was quite similar to that. There was like a few like riffs and stuff that I thought were quite similar to ones he did in that.
Yeah. No one's like asking him to make a masterpiece though.
No.
Because he kind of, it is like the best part of the movie, but also like because he is probably the most talented person working on the movie. So,
Probably, yeah.
Whatever.
You can tell visually they're really trying to copy the style of like Spielberg. You can tell that they're like desperately trying to make a Spielberg movie.
Yeah,
But
it doesn't really work.
bad.
Yeah, it doesn't
looks
really work.
awful.
does
It's
it?
all brown. They're all wearing like beige brown clothing. The interior of this new house is brown. The furniture is brown. The cupboards are brown. Like, who was the DP on this? Why didn't, like, I get, like, you can't use the best camera equipment or whatever, but, like, even just just put some color in there. Otherwise, what's the point?
It did seem quite.
You did it at McDonald's. You got Ronald there.
Yeah, even the McDonald's seemed quite dull, to be honest. So, like,
Except
I
for
swear
Ronald
back in
in
the
the back.
80s, it was like, they were like the most vibrant, ugly looking restaurant ever.
Yeah.
But it was just a pop-up McDonald's from what I read. It wasn't even like a real location. It was just one they made for the film.
That's weird. Yeah, I feel like
Yeah,
they
it's not
could have
even a
like,
real
booked out just a McDonald's.
Yeah.
Because, back in the day, I know they're like,
They could have. They
they
just
look
didn't.
like ass now, but, they looked really nice.
Apparently
and,
they used
colourful
like
back in the day.
a McDonald's like training like building.
Oh.
So,
Oh,
like,
so it is an actual building. It's just not
yeah,
a real
it's like
McDonald's.
technically like a actual McDonald's, but it doesn't serve customers. It's like a training center.
That's weird. What the hell?
You'd still think it looked nicer than it does.
Yeah.
Because it did look really drab still. Like, you've seen those, you ever seen, like, I don't know, the old adverts or, like, when you're growing up and they had, like, because I remember distinctively growing up, we used to have a really cool McDonald's because, like, the top bit would be, like, all, like, painted out and stuff. And, like, you could have, like, parties there and you get, like, cakes and stuff. Or was that just, like, oh, maybe that's just, like, a...
Or like a separate McDonald's?
No, like, if you had, like, a party in it,
Yeah.
the upstairs would be, like, kitted out to, like,
Oh, I guess,
fuck.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it was, like, all painted and decorated and then you could have, like, cake and shit in it. And it was great. But it looks nothing like that in this movie. Like, like, not even, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it was all, like, bright and colourful and this was just,
Brown.
yeah, pretty much. It was just very drab, wasn't it?
How it looked in the 80s.
I don't know. Everything was bubblegummy in the 80s, wasn't it? It was like the 80s.
That's just what they want you to think.
Maybe. I wasn't alive. Let me know.
Well, they're peddling us, but it wasn't
Yeah, maybe,
really.
maybe shit. Well, the only reason, because the reason I asked Chris what year it was made in was because I thought the music was like so like late 80s esque, especially that that scene where Mac is stuck in the tree.
Yeah, where he's hiding from the dogs that are chasing after him, and he climbs up the tree.
Yeah, and they're like rollerblading, and I was like, "What year was
Some
this
like
made
random
in?"
ballad starts playing as he's in this tree.
That's why I asked, because I was like, "This is so weird." The music was like totally like out of sorts for this film, though. It just did. I didn't feel like it fit any of like what it was trying to go for. I'm not talking about like like scores. I'm talking like actual songs that they put in there. Yeah, it was just weird.
I guess so.
I didn't feel like it fit at all. I felt like everything was like totally weird.
Anything goes in a movie like this.
Yeah.
There's no...
It's just a product placement movie though, isn't it, I suppose? So, yeah.
What's the tone? They're not trying to convey a tone. They're just like shitting a movie out because E.T. did well.
Yeah.
I guess they're not like just trying to, what's like the themes. I don't think they care.
Yeah, but Max, they promised they'd be back.
They did promise they'd be back, but look how that turned out. I guess not. You
never know. Maybe they'll do a legacy sequel.
I don't know. I don't think they will. I think
it's
the
gone way
days
past
of this
that,
kind of movie are kind of gone.
Yeah,
but we're not getting movies like that anymore. We could though. When all the strikes go downhill and no actors are able to work again.
Yeah,
we'll get these kinds of movies that were made by like Siberia. made in the East. That's where we'll get all our movies from. I'm so hyped for that.
Yeah.
When negotiations cannot come to a head.
The acting renaissance.
When all the actors are out of work.
Yeah.
And we're no longer seeing Disney movies or big blockbuster movies. And all we have
are B-stage movies.
B movies from the East. That's going to be peak. That's going to be peak cinema. Cannot wait.
Speaking of B movies from the East, shall we
get on to yeah, sure.
That was
and I'm always like
nice.
I'm always like annoyed when like a sci-fi movie introduces aliens to Earth and then they don't just wither away and die, but only because I'm a big fan of War of the Worlds and like the logic for that book is so goddamn solid that like I don't know why more movies or like literature doesn't incorporate the fact that because they're from another planet, they haven't acclimatized to life on Earth. So if they go to Earth, then they're going to be suddenly attacked by everything that's like here in like the air, and like all the organisms and bacteria are going to go into their system, and they probably will not have the systems to cope with that, and they probably will die. So I kind of wanted like a post-credit scene where they like one of the aliens like coughs and just dies immediately. Or that's shown in like that Simpsons episode where Homer goes back in time, sneezes on a dinosaur, and they all die.
Yeah, I think that could have worked.
Yeah,
that scene should have happened.
We're getting here, but
that should have happened way before they started getting on suits and stuff.
Yeah. As soon as they put a suit on.
Yeah, that was creepy.
Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't there for that bit.
Mac's dad in like human clothing is horrible.
Yeah, because he's horrible without his human suit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do we want to rate it out of?
Chris?
Big Mac?
Sure, yeah, fine.
I like it.
Yeah.
This is one of our less offensive rating systems that has been put up recently.
This obviously was not a good movie. I did have a good time with it. It was funny. Don't think I'd go back to it again. I feel like all the laughs I got from it, I got like this time. I don't think I'd find it anywhere near as funny on the second watch.
No.
Yeah, 1 Big Mac out of 10.
Yeah, it's really bad, and it's it's a fun time to watch these bad movies because I don't watch enough bad movies. But yeah, it's good to have like a big clump of them all in one hit to remind you just how bad it can get, humble you a bit. Yeah, it's not like very special to me. I kind of forgot about it. But I would probably give it, but it's far from like the worst thing ever. It's just sort of there. Probably give it 1 Big Mac out of 10 too, because there's nothing going on here.
Yeah,
it's not offering anything.
Yeah, like I think it's one of those where it's not remarkable enough to be so bad that it's like great bad, and it's also not so terrible that it's the worst thing I've ever seen. So to be honest, it's kind of unremarkable as far as a B movie goes, but again, it's not the worst thing ever, so it can get a 1 Big Mac out of 10 from me.
Okay, cool. So I didn't really... Okay.
Sorry, we're going to pause this broadcast for that. Jesus.
So...
The loudest opening of a can I've ever heard.
The next one is The Man Who Saved the World.
He did save the world.
From 1982, directed by Setin Inanc. I don't know. This is also termed Turkish Star Wars. So I guess that'll give you a rough indication of where we're at with this. It's basically aping Star Wars. They're using a lot of footage from that original Star Wars movie, putting it into this movie, and then loosely, very, very loosely, making their own plot around that, where there's these two guys who get into a lot of fights, go to a different planet, and fight people on that planet. There's a guy, the wizard, who was the bad guy. Not sure what he wants. He wants to destroy everything. Pretty sure he wants to rule the stars,
and he wants to use the power of the brain, the human brain.
He
wants to steal that power for some reason.
He sounds like that Marvel villain.
They're all like that.
Oh no, there's one in particular that I'm thinking of.
The brain one.
And I can't remember his name.
The one who wants the power of the human brain.
Well, it's the one who like rules over the galaxies and shit. No, there's another one.
Galactus.
That might be it, maybe.
Oh, right.
Reminds me of this one.
The one they haven't used yet.
Yeah,
but
my dad's quite fortunate they haven't used it yet, because they would only kill it and shove it into the ground.
Yep. This is fucking wild.
Yeah, everything about it is insane, isn't it?
It goes at like a mile a minute. I have no idea what's going on ever. It's like a bunch of dialogue in like the first 5 minutes or so of the movie, maybe even longer, where it's just constant dialogue, where they're just sort of telling you what the setup is and what's happening, why this guy, the wizard, wants what he wants, who the protagonists are, if you could call them that.
Yeah, I guess.
Intercut with a lot of footage from Star Wars, just very, very low resolution.
Yeah, it was
it looks like they filmed it on a BlackBerry and uploaded it.
A bootleg print of it. So someone took a film camera into the cinema, filmed it.
But it's not just that, because the rest of the movie looks like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I don't understand is that somehow the rest of the movie looks so like, I mean, I guess if you've got a bootleg version of a movie that has been shot well, then okay, like that kind of makes sense, because it is going to look a little bit shitty. But like, what I don't get is the actual footage that they put in themselves. You can't make out any of it. It doesn't it's not like comprehensible. I think
it comes down to like the print of the
I don't know.
movie,
Yeah, I don't know what was going on, but like all the colors are off, and like I can't tell what objects are like being shown in it and stuff. Not in these scenes where like they're very specific scenes that I'm not explaining very well, because if no one's seen it, then they don't know what I'm talking about. But like there are bits that are obviously shot that you can see, and then there are bits that you can't see, and I'm talking about these bits where like everything's like green and blue and brown, but you don't know what is happening in any of it. It's just like colors.
Sort of infer it though, right?
No,
like, yeah, I guess.
No, I was just like, okay, this is brown, this is green.
They did like a restoration from like a film print they found of it, but obviously because it's got like actual clips from Star Wars, you can't get that like restoration anywhere. Then they just like toured it around the world in cinemas.
That Star Wars bit was wild though. Like I remember, I forgot when it was going to. I asked Chris towards the end, but yeah, you see them in the Falcon just like in the shot, and I just burst out laughing because I was like, oh, they're just straight up just shoving these clips in. Okay,
Indiana Jones theme plays quite a lot as well.
That was incredible. The first time I thought it was an accident because they didn't play the whole thing, so I thought it was like, you know, when you have you rip off the music, so it's like similar, but it's not the same. But then the second time they played it all the way through, and I was like, okay, we're really just like
a hero's theme.
Yeah, we're really going for it.
Well, we need a hero's theme. Why make up our own one? We could just use another property from George Lucas. Why not?
Yeah, were they like? I wonder if they were like ever sued for any of this stuff, because like that just seems like,
I mean,
no,
for what?
George Lucas loves this kind of thing.
Of course he does. Yeah,
he loves like fan films and stuff like that, and then he actively encourages it.
Okay, and then fair enough, I guess. But
He's
then that just goes to make me wonder why they would have to then get like the worst version of Star Wars possible. If they could have just got,
probably didn't have the means.
Yeah.
No, maybe yeah.
What are they going to do? Rip it off a DVD? I don't think so. Do not think so.
Maybe not, actually.
They do. I mean, I'll hand it to them. They have a vision.
They did.
They wanted to make this movie, and by God, they made this movie. They're
By
clearly
hook or by
having fun.
crook, yeah.
They are having fun making this movie. All the costumes, all the weird locations they go to. There's a lot of people in it. There's a labour of love.
It was.
I think that's what made me like enjoy this movie as much as I did. Like far more than Mac and Me, because I feel like that movie, it's like
it just feels
only
shut out,
exists like to make money. It's like just full of product placement. There's no heart in that.
Yeah, because I feel like
Whereas
this movie
like feels like someone slaved over it, put everything into it. Like it's clearly like a film filled with passion and love.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it didn't make money, right? I'm pretty sure it's not that kind of movie.
Probably not. No.
Well, now it's on YouTube for everyone to enjoy and love. Why not? It's yeah. I mean, it's also very loud. I mean, I feel like I don't know if like that was the point, but like also, I guess like they're not professionals making these movies. They're not like sound mixers doing like a bunch of stuff. There's like never a point where it's like not unbelievably loud and noisy, and just like there's like a bunch of background noise going on at every point. They use the same hit sound effect for every punch. the same one for every punch, and it's always the same.
I didn't even realise that, to be honest.
What? Especially when like they're just getting hit over and over again. It's like so obvious and so egregious. Like, oh my God. And it just like adds to this overwhelming wall of sound that's like hitting you and in a barrage the entire time.
There's this one bit where the like main hero has like this sword and he keeps whacking these enemies and they're flying off this cliff and they've got the same like scream sound effect every time.
I like that.
Yeah.
Also,
like reuse shots because some of the enemies look the same.
Yeah. I do like that the sword was also like clearly made out of cardboard. Like that was just beautiful. I actually quite like the design of the sword though. Like if you had that in a high budget movie, that would look really sick.
Yeah.
Because it was
Conan the
actually
Barbarian
really well
type
cut.
shit,
Yeah.
A lot of sort of lightning bolt.
Yeah, it was
I guess it was made out of gold. It was supposed to be made out of gold.
Oh yeah, that could explain why it was like a tanned colour.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like
Hilarious.
It's meant to be, like,
and also because he decides to melt the sword and like make it like molten gold. And then he like dips his hand in the molten gold and it comes out as like stylish gauntlets.
That was sick.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
He didn't even burn him.
Yeah.
No, because he can't be burnt. He's a hero, a true
He's
hero.
a hero. Exactly. Exactly.
I did like that Max was referring to the villain as like the guy from Sleep Token. But now that I'm thinking about it, it reminds me of, and I'm not on TikTok anymore, but if you ever are on it, there's a parody account called Token, but it's like TOKN, and it's like a really badly dressed up vessel, and he looks a bit like that guy actually. And it was making me laugh because I was like, he looks like someone, but I can't figure out who.
Same mask. Yeah, it's the same mask.
Halloween costume sorted.
There we go. There we go. So many great Halloween costume ideas from this movie.
Yeah,
and all of these movies, honestly. They, you know, you can rail against them, but they got the costumes. I mean, at least got the costumes. They might not be very good costumes.
Yeah.
Sure, they do have them. And at least, like, this is not like, it looks like shit, but at least there's colour in it in terms of, like, you know, where Mac and Me was very beige. This, at least.
Yeah, this has
he's
colour
wearing,
in it,
like, the blue suit, and he's, like, got the golden sword and the gauntlets, and the villain, he's got this weird sort of mask with a bunch of red in it.
Yeah, like there was some really cool like
there's craft
colours and visuals for a movie that had like probably about a £2 budget. You know what I mean? Like kind of put Mac and Me to shame in some sort of sense.
Yeah, I forgot all about that movie.
Yeah, that movie was like that was ancient history. The second this one started showing Star Wars clips, I was like, this Mac and Me, who? I don't know who she is.
I mean, yeah, and just story wise, there's like, I guess it's because it's trying to ape Star Wars. It's not going for the same. I mean, it's like Tale as Old as Time, the story of Star Wars, I guess. Yeah. But so I guess you can ape it in that way. But I cannot, for the life of me, tell what is happening from scene to scene, where one scene ends and one scene begins. I don't know who's who. I don't know who's supposed to be speaking. I don't know what anyone's name is or whatever. A lot of these people are just sort of talked at by the main characters, and I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, like a lot of the translations as well are like, I mean, they're not actually terrible in translation, but there is like a lot of broken like
a lot of broken
dialogue. Yeah.
But it's really funny though.
It does
A lot
make
of that
it
is very
extremely funny. I don't think it's meant to be funny in that regard because I think whoever translated it just didn't know enough English for it to communicate.
Or it was like Google Translate or something.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they had it back then.
If they could rip it off a DVD, they can rip it off Google Translate. Is what you're trying to tell me?
You won this time, Earth, but I'll get you. Then I'll be the most powerful one in space. Like, stuff like that. Like, this is my last chance to beat the wizard. I love how they just call him the Wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that he was
name.
called the Wizard. I didn't even know his name was the Wizard until was it like at the end where they were like, we finally defeated the Wizard, and I was like, oh my god, his name is the Wizard. Like, what are the other guys' names? Like, what are they?
My more movies need to have villains with just like that kind of name.
Yeah.
Yeah, just something so easy to remember.
It was the Wizard.
And like the women in this movie don't speak, which is funny as fuck.
Not a lot, but then there are not a lot of women in the movie.
There's that woman who like finally speaks towards the end.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then there was the lady who was like, I'm going to seduce him. He's too smart for seducing.
For some reason, I don't know why that happened.
Oh, I don't get it.
I don't know why anything happens in here.
No, like that's the thing though. Like if someone went, explain Turkish Star Wars, I would say no.
There's two guys who are very, very good mates.
Very good friends.
Yeah,
I
they've got a strong bromance going on.
Yeah, I liked the whole, what do you want to do? I'll do whatever you want to do. Fight for injustice. And we were like, cool.
Fight for injustice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Was that what he said?
Something along them lines. And we were like,
Pretty sure he said fight for justice. Not fight for injustice.
no,
There's like quite a few scenes where they're having conversations about how much they love ladies.
Yeah.
That was quite funny.
oh yeah, I like the bits where they were like, oh man, I miss boobs or whatever. And it's like, cool.
I miss boobs.
It was quite amusing.
The film apparently was like 2.5 hours, like originally, but they were like forced to cut an hour out.
Yeah, but
It kind of feels like they were just like, fuck it, let's just cut random scenes out.
Yeah,
And they couldn't work out like what to cut out, when to cut out, so it's just like
it really shows because all the clips kind of like they don't like naturally flow, they just kind of like stop and then like so there'll be a scene and then it will just
these
cut
two
to,
guys,
like,
they're like alone on a planet they've just come to, and then they're like, I guess we gotta like go to a place, and then like they start walking, and then it'll like cut, and they'll just like be in sort of the same place because it sort of looks all the same, but there will be a bunch of people there, and we don't know how they got there or like who these people are. So I guess, I definitely got the sense that they took the reel and they just started chopping.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that seems quite accurate.
You want an hour out? We'll take an hour out. Don't know from where, but we'll take it out.
Yeah, we've not lost anything.
Oh, I was about to shit my pants. I thought you meant like it's gone, and I was like, I don't think I can talk about Macamia again. I don't think I got it in me.
No.
I would have just stopped. I would have been like,
we're just putting out the Joshua and the Promised Land review, and that's just going to be it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a 10-minute podcast.
Yeah, we're going again.
The audio interface problems there, but we're back, baby.
Some evil Beringer.
Thanks, Beringer.
Yeah.
You were talking about like the stones on his ankles.
Yeah. So I when I thought this whole episode was lost and gone forever, I was like, I didn't even get to the bit where he started training with the Indiana Jones theme with rocks on his leg.
Great montage.
It was great. It was actually so much fun.
Really solid montage stuff going around, just chucking rocks, just throwing rocks.
Yeah, and like kicking things, and it was like, I don't know, it was like watching a training video or like like the montages that you get in like Mulan or whatever, where they're like
but better.
Doing
it was better than the montage in Mulan.
It was the
better song, better training.
Yeah. I don't remember this. No, the song from Mulan are like...
No. This was better. They can like punch anything and it will explode. It's awesome.
I forgot that they exploded. Like
there's like
they
there's
just touched
like
me
in the final battle. There's like there's like mummies coming at them. So like he will tear with his golden gauntlet gloves. He will tear the head off of one mummy, throw it at another mummy that's coming after him, and that mummy will explode in a ball of flame. It's so
sick.
fucking funny.
Yeah, yeah.
And just the way they choreograph these scenes is like they're so clearly bouncing on a trampoline or like a trampette or something. They just got set up in this
yeah, because you
set.
can see them like it's like you know, like in a trampoline where you literally you go up and then that is literally
bounce,
like
we
like
all know
bounce,
the trampoline bounce, the way that the human body arcs in a trampoline bounce. We know this well.
Trampoline.
But even like just they don't even try to hide it because like he'll jump and then he'll jump onto the trampoline and then he'll jump into an enemy. Wow,
yeah, no, that's
that's
what makes it so obvious. It's just it's the mechanics of how it works.
It is great.
It was quite Ninja Dragon-esque.
Yeah.
In that way. Yeah. I was thinking about that movie quite a bit.
Yeah, so was I.
Kindred spirits. Yeah.
I'd say I enjoyed this more than Ninja Dragon though.
Yeah. This one's a lot more consistent. With Ninja Dragon, it's like there was like a point in that where it just stops being entertaining. Yeah. But with this, it's like it's an even keel. It's always sort of at that higher range where you're like, I'm kind of into this. Where it's not like, although I think there was like a point when we were watching it where like everybody just sort of stopped laughing at it and we're just sort of like there like,
yeah,
okay. So it's not like totally amazing throughout.
No, but I was never bored though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Even when I wasn't laughing, I wasn't bored. I was just going along with what was happening.
Yeah, you sort of invested in the story. Like, you know, where's this going to go? What's going to happen with the wizard?
I was very intrigued, I have to say.
I like the part where his mate he like tries to leave this prison that they've been put in by the wizard because he's like, I swear revenge, because his old man friend, who I guess was supposed to be like Obi-Wan Kenobi or something, like a sort of Obi-Wan Kenobi figure, dies. And he's like, the wizard has killed my friend, vengeance. And he like, tries to leave the prison, and then he just like he gets blown up. And then like his friend holds him in his arms. He's like, no, I love you, don't die. And then he says to him, for your sake, I won't die. And then he dies immediately.
That was really funny. He has a super over-the-top death as well.
He really does, doesn't he?
I loved it. Yeah, it was so good.
It was the only way.
Yeah. They were also hinting. There's a great line. They say, he is tied to his friend with all his personality. And we were like, what does that mean? And there's a lot of dialogue in the movie where it's like, what does that mean? Why are you saying this?
A lot of it didn't make a lot of sense. But again, is that a translation thing, or is that just like it actually not making sense?
And I think also it's like poorly written.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect meld.
Yeah, it's amazing.
There can be no human without the world, and there can be no world without humans.
Which,
Great.
I mean, fair.
Not true.
But I don't understand.
First of all, not true. I love how they defeat the wizard as well at the end. He like karate chops him or something, and he splits him in half just down lengthways. Amazing.
Yeah, that is pretty sick.
Amazing ending.
Yeah.
That reminded me of a movie I watched recently, Shin Kamen Rider or Shin Ultra Rider or something. That's like so goofy and like just people will explode and blood will go everywhere, but it's like so damn goofy. That it does remind me of this wizard being split in half down the middle. So good. More movies need to have just this sort of reckless abandon and like fun with what you can do in a movie.
Especially when it's so like far from reality, if that makes sense. Like
no one's taking this seriously.
Yeah, like just have fun with it then.
Good stuff.
Chris isn't saying anything, so I assume.
I was like looking for my notes, see if there was anything else I had, but nothing really.
Should we get on to ratings then?
Oh.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, we'll rate this out of The Wizard.
The Wizard. You're a wizard, Harry.
Yeah, I did have a really, really good time with this. It was just such a blast. It's definitely a movie I can imagine like rewatching with a few drinks, like a couple of people over.
Yeah.
I feel like it's definitely one of those kind of movies. Yeah, I'd still give it 1 The Wizard out of 10 though.
Yeah, fair enough.
As great as it was.
It is great. It has that passion, I think. That's what elevates it for me. It's not like some seedy bullshit cash grab. These people wanted to make it. And I guess, you feel like their love for the original source material.
Yeah. And they did it.
They did it. They definitely did it. And it's, it's the whole package deal. Watch it with all your friends. It's on YouTube. The Man Who Saved the World, or Turkish Star Wars, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
2, The Wizards out of 10.
Yeah. If someone could make like a drinking game out of this, or like some sort of hilarious.
Anytime the Indiana Jones theme music plays,
you got to take a shot. You'd be dead. Like, you'd actually be dead. I don't really have anything to say. It was funny. What? Oh my god, what was the rating? Sorry,
The Wizard.
I love The Wizard. 1 The Wizard out of 10.
They made a sequel to it as well.
Oh, really?
2006, Turks in Space. It's called
Turks in Space.
Yeah,
but that's what the first one is. Turks in Space.
Basically, completely different director, but the main actor comes back.
Oh wow, that's pretty.
I think
pretty
he's
awesome.
like the only thing that carries over. It's just him. I think everything else is just like a completely different production company and everything.
Am I allowed to introduce my film reading the letterboxed bio? Because I actually hella enjoy the letterboxed bio.
If you want.
So I didn't technically pick this movie.
You always say that.
But it's true. It's true. It's
Technically, I picked all 3 of these movies.
Actually, yeah,
You
that
wanna
is
get
that is
nitty-gritty
true.
about
yeah,
it.
that is true. Well, the truth is, it was definitely the right decision. But it was just, we saw this one picture and we were like absolutely fucking howling. And Chris went, "You got to pick this." And I said, "Oh yeah, fuck it, let's do it." And then for some reason, within like the same hour, Max messaged in the chat and said, "Fuck it, Turkish Star Wars." And I was like, what the fuck?
I think I was drunk.
I think we were like on the same wavelength though that night. We were just like, okay.
I think I was wine drunk at that point.
So, my movie is Joshua and the Promised Land. Directed by Jim Lyon, and I just really wanted to.
That was so funny.
To read
When you said, "Oh, my pick is Joshua and the Promised Land," I looked it up immediately, and the director, Jim Lyon. Jim Lyon. Please explain what this movie is.
So again, the tag is that courage that comes from God is always good.
It's
on the poster.
But I was
must
just
be
reading
true.
it. It says, a heartwarming tale for the whole family in the tradition of C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien about the courage one learns from trusting God.
Yep.
And as a result, finding the ability to overcome many of life's problems. Join young Joshua on an epic dream adventure from the parting of the Red Sea as the Hebrews escape from Egypt through 40 years in the wilderness. Finally, to the sinful city of Jericho. I like how they wrote that. Yeah. Just one thing while I'm still got this in my memory holes. I'm not quite sure what Jim Lyon was doing when he was like, these people were bad, and there's like the pyramids. They were made by the Jews, and I don't know. That's the way he said it. It just made me feel really uncomfortable. This whole film was fucking so fucking weird.
Jim Lyon, and it's about a lion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, see, the thing is, I think most of what is great about this movie is just like it needs to be seen to be believed, right? Like,
and it can be seen because it's on YouTube.
Yeah, that is true. I think one of the funniest things was how quickly it set off Chris. Like, it literally took about 0.5 seconds for that weird pink pig dog fucking thing to show up, and Chris just lost it instantly.
That was a great way to start. This movie doesn't fuck around.
No, it really doesn't. Well, it's only got 50 minutes to do the whole damn thing. It does only have so long to get to the point, doesn't it? I keep looking at the poster.
Oh my God.
I just have the poster up. I'm not even reading it.
Oh, that's a great poster. It's so good. It's so good.
It was actually, I think it was the picture of Moses was the reason that Chris
my God,
went, you need
yeah.
to pick this. I don't know if that's actually the truth, or whether he saw the lion.
It was both.
I'm wondering if this was actually my favourite one of the lot.
It was my favourite one, because I didn't stop laughing pretty much. Like, it was a non-stop laugh roller coaster for me. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was dog shit, but I learned a lot about Joshua and the Promised Land from this.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you think?
Yeah, I learned a lot about the Bible.
You learned a lot, eh? Tell me something you learned.
Jim Lyon's not very good at animation. That's what I learned.
Took him 4 years to make it as well.
Yeah, but
I do.
only he made it.
Yeah.
No, like no. I will hand it to him that for one man to single-handedly do 2004 animation. So what he's started? Yeah, so he probably started in 2000s where everything was like primitive and shit. I'll give it to him.
Yeah.
But I'll give it
Phantom
to him.
Menace just came out. He's like, I could sort of do that.
Yeah, I
own a
respect
computer.
it. I do. I'll give him the respect that he definitely deserves for
You gotta
having the
respect
balls
a man
to do. Yeah.
named Jim Lyon who creates a movie for 4 years about a lion. Like, wow, he's really leaning into it.
Yeah, I still want to know, like, if I was to ever speak to him, I'd be like, so what is your narrator? Is he a pig? Is he a dog? Is he a cat?
And you're not. I mean, it's whatever, man. Like, the animation on this is like.
I really care. Look, he's got a bow tie.
Respect it.
I really care. This is what I mean. I have a lot of.
But it's so horrendous to look at.
Yeah.
It is ghoulishly bad. It's kind of scary.
It's terrifying.
It's kind of fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
Especially like in like the I think the parts that like terrified me the most was when the main guy was at home, and because like it's all like they're just lions, but like they're animated so like weirdly, and like
it
they're
just
just like what sort of walking around and like in this weird kind of abstract way.
It just feel kind of sterile as well in the home scenes as well. Like everything was like clinical because there was like
no decorations, no nothing. It's just like bare walls,
bare bones basically.
There are 3 lions,
and again. Totally respect it because the year it was made, the fact that he did it all on his own, blah blah blah. But yeah, sure, it did it.
I thought that was like as bad as it was going to get, but it just keeps amping it up.
Yeah,
keeps going mad with it. He like, but what happens? Like he just like his dad gets mad at him and he goes into his room and he's like, fuck.
And he goes
like,
to sleep.
Face plants his bed. He's like, I'm over it. I'm out of here. And then like some sparkly. This sparkly meth dog lion man hallucination sort of comes through his window and he's like, Joshua, I'm taking you to the promised land. So yeah, wow, the face on this guy. I was taking photos throughout this movie just of the TV screen. I could not believe what I was seeing.
I liked that he was like, oh Josh, I'm going to take you to the promised land. He said, but I'm going to be late for dinner.
That's fair.
Oh, that is fair. Was really rude just then.
He's got a pretty toxic home life, to be fair. There's that scene at the end where his parents are yelling at each other.
I can't blame him. He wanted to get out of there. I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, possibly.
He wanted to lead a great rebellion.
I did like
the rebellion of the Jews, or the exodus of the Jews.
He was trying to do like this, like the narrator dog meth cat pig thing was like doing like the fourth wall every now and again. Like, yeah, look at him. He's a sad bozo schmuck.
Fucking schmuck, yeah. And like,
I actually really like that.
It has only 50 minutes to tell you what it needs to tell you. It goes at such a rate that like, look away, you get whiplash and like something completely different is going on.
Yeah,
like,
a minute,
like 5 minutes ago, like he was in bed just asleep, and now he's like the leader of the Jews.
Yeah, like
what the fuck happened?
Because there's that bit where he's with Joshua as Joshua in this like crowd of like people leaving Egypt to go and find the promised land, all this kind of stuff, and then all of a sudden, meth dog pig thing just like smacks him into the back of a lion, and he becomes this lion. It was so like hack-handed as well, like the way that it was presented. Like it just looked like he was like going to like arse rim him or something. Like he just went like this straight into him. So weird.
They also, I don't think they understand that we understand what's going on as well.
I don't know.
It's just like every so often, this like little pink guy will come up in a bow tie and explain what's happening to us.
I liked that about 3/4 of the way through the movie, Max went, wait, so is he not Chris then? I was like, no, that's Joshua. Chris is the little
they kept saying Chris.
Meth man.
Yeah, Chris was the white guy, apparently. But yeah.
Why? He was pink.
What? No, it was the white meth guy.
He's
with
pink.
Sparkly. No, he was sparkly. The pink guy was the narrator.
I thought it was the same person.
Yeah, I thought they were the same person.
No, one of them. No, one of them was pink and one of them was white.
Yeah, I thought he was just pink when he's narrating,
and
white when he's in the.
Yeah, that's what I thought was happening. Yeah, I thought he was the same exact character. He was just sparkly when he was with Joshua and pink when he was talking to her.
What?
He gained his colour for his good deeds.
Yeah, it was a real It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the thing is, it's like if you know like the story of it as well, like there's not a lot to really say because it is literally just a retelling of it. Like there's not a lot to actually go into, which is why it's
arguably
nice.
it's done better in other movies, arguably.
Well, yeah, but this one was funny.
This is definitely funnier than The Prince of Egypt.
Yeah, 100%.
I enjoyed this a lot more than that movie.
But I like the song from The Prince of Egypt.
Yeah. I
That's
guess.
it, isn't it? Yeah, that's it, really.
Was it more fun? I don't know. I guess so.
What, this
I guess
film?
it probably was, actually.
I had
yeah.
way more fun with this than
That's
The Prince
the
of
thing.
Egypt.
Yeah, I don't know how to judge these kinds of movies. It's clearly a masterpiece.
What?
It's clearly
Joshua and the Promised Land.
like obviously, if I'm having more fun in this than a movie like The Prince of Egypt, which by all measures is a better movie,
Oh yeah,
but,
100%.
you know, what am I going to go back to sooner?
Yeah.
Probably the
that's the thing.
50-minute movie that's just on YouTube that I'm going to laugh my head off to.
Yeah, I like I said, I know it sounds really stupid, but like I actually think that you actually like learnt something from it as well, because like it was just, I don't know.
I don't know about that.
Well, maybe not more than you already know, but I don't know. You start picking apart stuff, like when he was talking to the big flame, and I was like, so is that meant to be the what would you call it, the fire bush, whatever the name of that thing is?
Yeah, the flaming bush.
Yeah, it clearly was just like white pixels.
Yeah.
And I was like, is
Not
that
a
meant to be
bush
the
in
flaming
sight.
bush?
Not a bush in sight.
Yeah.
Just fire. Just fire. Big ball of fire. It definitely made me appreciate the animation on The Prince of Egypt a lot more.
Yeah.
Just like how well that's done in comparison to this.
Oh, do you know what? When did that come out? Actually, just
98 or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something that sort of
I'll have to look
time.
that.
But yeah, this makes that movie look like a masterpiece. But I
Yeah.
would still sooner go back to this for
Oh.
some goddamn reason.
99, but still.
Yeah.
Because this is funny and a lot shorter, it's less of a commitment.
I don't need to
Yeah.
take it seriously like at all.
Yeah.
Why is this
This
so...
is not a ringing
Oh.
endorsement for good animation. But you know, it's clearly his passion project. He did what he did with it. I feel like he wanted to make this movie because he wanted to make it.
Yeah.
And probably maybe even not because he'd seen The Prince of Egypt. I don't know. Maybe it's just like a story he wanted to tell.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Or maybe he saw that and was like, that's not realistic enough.
They've all got to be strange little animals
Yeah.
Mm.
of different colours and
They're
varieties.
all, they're all very...
all very Play-Doh-y.
What did I say they were? Ambiguous animals.
Ambiguous animals, yeah.
My favourite bit was when Moses shouted no.
No! Because everyone in the village made like an idol of a... Was it like a pig? Or that was like a
Yeah.
golden pig. It was probably
It
like a sheep or something.
yeah. You must not maketh the idols, they said. And then what do they go and do? They make a goddamn idol.
Like, honest to God, that bit where... So, I was obviously, as I normally do, I was reading reviews, like, whilst watching it.
Mm-hmm.
And someone said, no, it was like the funniest thing I've ever seen. I was like, oh, did I miss it? And then when it happened, it was just happening.
It was glorious.
It was pretty good.
He actually
Can't
puts
lie.
like too much into the movie, I feel. He puts like
What?
too much effort into it. It's
Yeah,
like there's like an
hints it a little bit,
abundance
doesn't
of
it?
like,
Yeah.
and I need to put in more. Because it needs to be chock full of just more. Like the sound effects when like they're walking. Sound on every step.
Yeah.
Walking through grass barefoot. Walking through
felt
sand
very-
It sounded
barefoot.
like the digging sound effect in Minecraft.
It's very,
Yeah.
it felt very PS1 stock footage noise. Like, you know, when you're walking across like pavement, it's like clonk, 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 clonk. Even though they're on grass, they're still clonk, 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 clonk.
Mhm.
It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I don't know. I didn't even hate that, to be honest. I just thought it was like, it kind of almost, had like added to the goofy of it. I was like, yeah, of course he did that. Of course he added sparkle effect noises. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. I
Yeah.
don't know. I had a great time, so I'm not even gonna.
They made one of those like reanimated movies of this, like where like loads of like YouTube artists and stuff teamed up
like
and
they
they
did
like
Shrek?
Oh,
they did like 10 seconds each.
that's cool. Yeah, because it really deserves that.
Mm.
Are they
Really
all
does.
done like ambiguous animals as well?
Yeah, I think so.
So there's like a weird meth man, pig, dog, cat thing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
sick. That's
But
so
obviously
sick.
it'll all be in different styles.
Yeah.
The style will just change like every 10 seconds or so.
I like that.
I do like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the line, sometimes a no means maybe, I'll grant you that, but not with God.
I like when me and Max both went, no, that's no, that's not
I don't know
true.
about that. Not sure about that.
Mm.
And say they're protecting the world's oldest city when like the guys were at Jericho. But I'm like, this was like back in the day. Like, I grant you, Jericho is the oldest city nowadays, but was it the oldest city at that point? I don't know about that.
I don't think it was, but well, they clearly know the Bible verse better than, like, say I do. So if that's what
I'm
the
sure
Bible
Jim
said,
Lyon knows more about the Bible than I do, but I don't know. It felt kind of strange. Don't know about that one.
Yeah, I don't know about the geography behind it. I don't know how accurate it is.
I don't know about geography. I'm just a guy who does a podcast, just saying things that I can't back up.
Yeah, that's why I don't claim to know any of these things, because I can't back it up if I if I make a statement.
When they're like waging war against the Egyptians or whatever, and the key was like, the trick was for Moses to keep his arms in the air so they wouldn't so they would know that God was on their side.
Yeah.
But then Moses got tired. And then
Yeah, like naturally,
his arms down, and they all start losing.
That was fun.
God has forsaken us.
I like that the meth dog pig thing then like went up to him and was like, ah.
Put his arms up again.
Like the man's
They're
like
losing because
passed
you put your
out.
arms down, Moses.
Oh man.
He's got this big chin, so like, and there's like a shot where like he's like bathed in purple lighting, and he looked exactly like Thanos.
He did. He actually did. Like legitimately did.
Which is strange that like they did that, because there's no lighting in this movie really. There's no like shadows or anything like that.
No, not really.
There's like a light. Even like the big the burning bush was supposed to cast a light on something, but it didn't actually, because he can't.
Yeah, I can't tell whether
It would involve more animation of like shadows and that, and I don't think he really cared about doing that.
No.
Or maybe he didn't really finesse how, because I assume
Probably quite complicated.
it probably was. Like,
It's
let's be
taken him
honest.
4
like,
years anyway.
Yeah, because like animation to, especially when it's so he starts at 2000. That's got to be like spanking brand new to some degree, right? So it's probably quite difficult to.
Yeah, it's going to add another 4 years onto that just to animate some shadows.
Yeah,
don't think so.
probably not.
Do not think so. He's got the core element here.
Yeah, like, does that mean then like all the colours are like glitchy, or you did it on purpose to illuminate like the idea of like oh, if I do a shot where he's now purple, it will mean that he's like had a shadow cast. It just didn't work, but I'm just trying to get into the head of Lion Man.
The head of Jim.
The head of Jim. Joshua. The head of Joshua.
Trying to get into the head of Jim Joshua.
Who was also a lion. I do like the fact that he made the whole family lions.
Yeah.
I thought.
He loved his own name so much.
I thought that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if I was a man called Jim Lion, I'd probably make my protagonist lions as well.
Yeah, it feels fitting.
Maybe it's based on his childhood.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know what
him
the
going to
story of
Jericho?
the Jewish exodus from Egypt. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
You see these funky things? They're called pyramids. That was so weird. I didn't understand that bit. I feel like he made it with the intention of like, because it was a family movie that was meant to be. That is horrible. That is horrible.
Of this movie. Oh my god.
I don't remember him being that white.
No, he's pretty white. Yeah. It's like
I don't remember him being that white.
Vast shadow about him. This is great. I'm just showing pictures now. Oh man.
He's horrible. It's actually horrible.
So good. So good. What's this one, wait?
I don't know.
Problem, Eminence. Your Eminence? You can call me Moses, Joshua. Yes, sir, Moses.
I really enjoyed that bit where for some reason Max stopped filming it, but he was literally like bobbing around after these like chicken type things, and it was really funny. It's so
we're just basking in the glory of this movie, I guess. We ain't making anything as good as this.
That is true.
None of us have ever done anything like this. This is something unique.
I mean, yeah, that's fair enough. Like, again, I can't shit on it. Like, can animation be done by one human being that good?
Clearly it can. It just takes 4 years.
I've taken
Maybe
off
not now.
my
Maybe not nowadays.
mic set.
I feel like it was a relatively new technology he was working with, sort of,
Yeah, I guess.
to do it all on his own and to like have have access to that technology. I guess was
Yeah, I have a feeling that he like you must back in the day. It was like brand new technology. He must have been quite well off to be able to afford that, and then spend 4 years of his life making.
You know, if you like put your mouth on the other end of the microphone won't pick it up.
Yeah, but I'm trying to.
it's not omnidirectional.
Sorry, I'm like
Do you
trying
want to like fix your microphone or something?
Or just hold it. I think
just hold it.
I think we're almost done.
Yeah, we're almost
that's
done. We
why
can
I
get
was
out of
gonna
here.
I was going to try and take it off of.
We ruined it.
The thing that
No,
it lives
don't even
in.
try. Don't even try. Right, just
Well,
hold it.
No,
We'll
right,
be done within
this
5
is fucking
minutes.
ridiculous. Okay, go on.
Let's rate this movie out of ambiguous animals.
Yes, ambiguous animals.
This is a special movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's very glorious. Again, I would definitely watch this again.
Yeah.
I had such a good time with it. But it is also like one of the worst things I've ever watched. What was it? Ambiguous
Animals.
One ambiguous animal out of 10.
Boo!
I felt the power and the glory of God and the talent and just raw passion of Jim. Thank you, Jim, for Joshua and the Promised Land.
Thanks, Jim, for being so raw.
Yeah, thank you for being so raw.
Oh,
like a lion.
fuck it. I hate this.
I don't know. Is it like one of the worst things I've ever seen? Honestly, I'd probably say no. I don't know. I feel like I've seen a lot of shit. A lot of shit.
Good.
Mac and Me was way worse than this.
In terms of entertainment,
yeah,
especially, yeah, I would agree.
No, just generally, to be honest.
It's
Okay.
I think maybe there were like points where I was bored. I'm not sure. I'm having trouble remembering, but just now I'm feeling like it was an experience. It was something that I look back on fondly. I have
Delirium,
all the
I
great
think is what you
memories of
call
the videos and the photos I took on my phone. Of course, it gets a 1 ambiguous animal out of 10, though. It's still a pile of shit, but so much fun. So much fun to watch with people.
Yeah, I don't think if I was watching this by myself, I would have finished
maybe I would
it.
have had a bad time with it. I'm not sure. Although
I
it's so funny.
I think I still would have laughed at it, but I feel like there's nothing better than like when you're laughing at something, you're laughing with other people that other than like you. Because at any point you could watch something like that by yourself and be like, oh, okay, the novelty of it's worn off now, so I could turn it off. Like I would probably watch it for about 15 minutes maybe, and then turned it off. But
And you know, if a tree laughs in the woods and no one's around to hear it, does it truly laugh?
I guess not.
I guess not.
2 ambiguous animals out of 10.
Yep.
I was just scared of the tree laughing, so I decided I put myself out my own misery because I'm currently holding this fucking mic stand and I just feel insane. I feel like I need to go. Like, this is so unprofessional.
Okay. Stop it. Okay. We're at the end now. We're at the end.
Sorry, Papa.
Okay. What are you doing? You're going crazy.
I'm throwing
right
the
at the end.
chocolate
You're like a child who's like gotten bored of something. You're like, want to go.
I know what's going to happen is Chris is going to turn to me in a minute and go, "Did you take your meds today?"
Then he's going to punch you square in the face. Okay, so we've got a wheel to spin, and the wheel is going to tell us what we're going to watch for the next episode. A random wheel of a million things. It could be anything, but definitely not a director or an actor. So we took those off for the rest of the year.
My God. Get bored of vetoing stuff.
I put the wrong list on.
What?
Because it's a director or actor,
God
isn't it?
Damn it. Put the right list on.
Okay, 2 seconds.
Okay.
I knew the second he started laughing, I knew it. I was like, oh, man.
Oh, no, not Spike Lee.
Who was it, just out of curiosity?
John Cassavetes.
Oh, lame. That would have sucked.
I don't know. Who's that?
Just some guy, some old
He did
guy.
Woman Under the Influence.
Yeah, some boring movies.
Oh, I didn't like that movie. Boo.
Oh, what the fuck? I've
What?
lost the one that doesn't have the...
Oh, are you kidding me?
All right, you're
Yeah,
just going
it's
to have to
just
keep spinning it until you get to something
just
that...
make a list and then get rid of all the actors and the directors and then put him in. It'll take 2 seconds.
Actually, yeah,
It'll be
you're probably
easy.
better off just getting rid of the actors on the wheel you currently got.
What happens in a live podcasting format?
No, it's true. I'm just surprised you didn't see it because you've been staring at that list for probably like a good 30 seconds.
Just going
Didn't
through,
see
yeah.
You didn't see it on the
Oh, I hope
wheel?
we get
I
John
saw it when it
Cassavetes.
started slowing down.
What are you laughing?
A Fast and Furious.
Cool. All right. I'm ready. I'm ready for these movies. Swear to God, I got the Blu-rays for these movies exactly for this exact time.
Wait,
This exact
I do
point.
need to ask a question because I have seen a few of them. and this is why I say a few of them. How many are we actually watching? Because there's like 12,000 of these.
We'll just do 3.
You do the first 3.
No, I want to do 4.
Why do you want to do 4?
We can do 4.
Look, based on our schedules, we can do 3.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have time to do 4.
That's fine. The first 3 Fast and Furious movies, whatever they are, coming at you live in the next episode in 2 weeks' time. Watch those. We certainly will.
Mm-hmm.
We've got social media. Follow those.
Okay.
It's been a long week, guys. Okay, let it go.
Fast and Furious forever.
Fast
forever
4,
and always.
Fast X.
It's all about F family.
I'm gonna kill myself. Good night.